Hello everyone and welcome to a new lecture. This is course 2, and as you can see this is a new play in course 2 which is entitled She Stoops to Conquer. This play was written actually by Oliver Goldsmith, and as you can see this is lecture 1, which is entitled Key Facts and Plot Summary. And of course this is drama for third year students, presented by me, Mushtaq Abdul Halim Muhammad. Okay, here we have two title pages taken from the internet to two editions of this play. Let's move on to key facts about She Stoops to Conquer. What is the full title? She Stoops to Conquer, or The Mistakes of a Night. So this is the full title, but the main one is She Stoops to Conquer. The place and time of publication are London, England, 1773. Literary period is called Georgian comedy, or New Comedy of Manners, and comedy of manners is very important. Genre, comedy of manners. Setting, a small town in the English countryside during the Georgian era, 18th century. Climax, Sir Charles and Hardcastle burst from behind the screen during Marlowe's proposal to Kate. Protagonist, Kate Hardcastle. Antagonist, Mrs. Hardcastle. Although these two characters are controversial, according to some critics, because some critics agree that Kate and Mrs. Hardcastle are protagonist and antagonist, while others disagree or may add other characters. The title of the play is so significant that it refers to the strategy kind of plan, technique of its wealthy heroine. Who is the wealthy heroine? Kate Hardcastle, of course. What's wrong with her? What did she do? She pretends to be a humble barmaid. She is so wealthy, but pretends to be very humble barmaid. Thus, stooping, stooping, binding, kneeling beneath her social position, to be in a social position. Why is that? To gain the affection of Charles Marlowe. Gain the affection, to be in love with him, to attract him. The original title included a subtitle, which is The Mistakes of a Night. It refers to the events that take place in one evening's time. Let's move on to the summary, and let's begin with the summary. Sir Charles Marlowe has planned a match between his own son, young Marlowe, and Kate Hardcastle. Match, the word match here means a kind of competition. The daughter of Squire Hardcastle, who lives in a country village with his wife, Dorothy, and her son by a former marriage, Tony Lumpkin. Marlowe travels with his friend George Hastings from town to meet Kate. Hastings is in love with Kate's cousin, Constance Neville. Who is Constance Neville? An orphan who lives with the Hardcastle. With the Hardcastles. Let's emphasize the pluralized name here, because it refers to the name of the family, the whole members. Mrs. Hardcastle decided that in order to keep Constance's fortune full of jewelry in the family, she has to marry Tony. So this is another plan. The two believe that they are incompatible, unmatched, unequal. It is Hastings' intention on this visit to elope with Constance. Elope, to run away. Travel to the continent and there marry her. Almost there, the two travelers lose their way. They got lost and seek direction at a noisy tavern. Tavern, kind of inn, bar. Its name, the Three Pigeons. Lumpkin, realizing who they are, misdirects them to his stepfather's house, pretending. Pay attention to the word pretend. Pretending. Show the opposite of what he is on. Pretending it is an inn called the Buck's Head. Pay attention to the names, they are very important. Much of the humor of the play, humor, laughter, happy moments of the play consist of the traumas, traumas, big problem, great ones, that arise from because of this mistaken identity. Mistaken identity is another important theme in addition to appearances versus reality. On meeting Kate for the first time, Marlowe shows himself to be shy, so much so that he is unable to look at her. Even thus, shyness in the presence of young women of his own class, and a boldness in meeting women of a lower class standing, is a characteristic feature of Marlowe. In other words, Marlowe has two faces, two sides. One of them is to be so shy, with whom this is very important, and the other is to be so bold, again with whom. These are two opposite words, shy and bold, according to class. To woo the young man, woo, flatter, who Kate feels is a promising future, she pretends to be a barmaid at the inn. To her, in this guise kind of cover or undercover, mask, Marlowe shows the contradicting side. Contradicting side means being shy on one hand and bold on the other hand of his nature in a scene in which he attempts to make love to her. Tries. Meanwhile, Hastings and Constance suffer difficulties as they prepare to elope, being ready to run away. The chief of which is to obtain Constance's fortune, to have Constance's fortune. Mrs. Hardcastle manages to stop a note, kind of letter, from Hastings to Lumpkin. The note explains the flight arrangement, runaway. Arrangement, the plan for running away. Immediately, she prepares to take Constance to the house of her Aunt Pettigrew, several hours' journey away, where it will be impossible for Hastings to see her. Lumpkin is to ride beside the carriage and direct the driver. Cunningly, he takes the occupant of the coach, people who are inside this kind of coach, on a circular route, kind of circle road, and brings them back safely to the garden of the Hardcastle, where Hastings is stationed, lived. Together the young lovers steal away, but without the fortune. Marlowe learns from his mistake in taking the house for an inn. Watched by a hidden Hardcastle and by his own father, Sir Charles, he proposes to Kate. He asks her to be, or to get married, to be his own wife, who by this time he mistakenly imagines to be a poor relationship, or to be a poor relation of the Hardcastle family, one of their relatives. The two fathers appear from their hiding place, and the many problems of identity are solved. Hastings reappear with Constance. The couple have decided only to get married with Hardcastle's blessing, so that they may have their rightful fortune. Lumpkin renounces any claim. He refuted that kind of claim to Constance, and the audience is left with the possibility of the two couples happily looking forward to their respective marriages. Well, here we have a new slide which is entitled Synonyms. I have already chosen some important and hard vocabulary to be explained, so you can check them out. These words have been taken from the previous slides. This is the end of this lecture. Thanks a lot for listening.